Welcome to Insight, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming back.
Yes, it's been a while.
It has. You were on our podcast back in June, so it's been a minute.
Was it back in June?
Back in June. Yes.
First one?
Yes. Very special
Feel
guest.
hurt. I haven't been asked to come back.
Well, we want to have you back to kind of ride into 2026, but
Yeah.
a long time has passed since between those two episodes. What's been the biggest change at IHL since then?
We've grown a lot in the last, 6 to 9 months. We've seen 2 of our new independent offices, like specifically in Miami and Michigan. They've grown immensely and are flourishing. Our corporate office here in Scottsdale, we almost have every cube upstairs completely full, where we're looking at new space to move into downstairs already.
It's happening so fast.
Happening fast. Our head count's hitting the mid 300s in terms of employees, smashing our volume goal. So there's just been a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, speaking of smashing volume goals, we crushed our 2025 goals of hitting $2 billion.
We did. And I know we say it around the office a lot, but in terms of just lenders of our size and our area of consumer direct that don't really do retail, to do $2 billion, it's a very unique company that we're in. And it was our second year in business, and we did it from thin air without a huge book of business or a servicing portfolio. I could not be prouder of that number. It's a big number, and it's going to be fun to try to double it up this year.
Absolutely, but a challenge I know we can hit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit some big numbers this year, but that's what gets me going. I like the excitement.
For sure. What was your proudest moment of 2025?
I think I'd be lying if I said there was like one individual moment that maybe stood out, but the number that we just spoke about, because I know what $2 billion means in this space, and I know how actually really new we are, even though it doesn't really feel that way. And to surpass over 350 employees active all within a year, and to have the organization and the efficiency that we do here, I was just mostly proud at how well this company's been operating, considering how many moving parts there are every single day. It seems like there's something new happening, somebody new starting, a new department has somebody new in it, and it's just like nothing to our team. I love it. I
know, yeah. So what does it mean to you to have kind of like those closer connections with people you work with? I know you and Bill were like childhood friends, and I see you walking around and saying hi to everybody on the floor. What does it kind of mean to you to walk into work and have those close connections?
Well, it's important. I think culture is almost just as important as performance. I'm kind of like 51% performance, 49% culture. If we hire somebody that might not be the best at something, it's our job to teach them to get better. But there's just good people that work here, like genuinely good people. I love walking the floor every day and dabbing everybody up. And my favorite part is every single day there's somebody new that I don't know. I don't know who they are because I really don't do much of the hiring anymore, especially in sales. And I'm always like first and last name and what do you do here? And it's a great way to get to know them also. And I think it's important just to make sure everybody knows that, hey, I'm here to work just like you guys are every day. We have similar goals and I'm accessible if they need it. But I get excited to come to work, building something special with your best friends outside of work. I think it's pretty special.
Yeah, and it's rare. Okay, so I want to take a step back and I want to hear about how you got started in the mortgage industry.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah, I was very fortunate. I was given a position to work at a company called Countrywide Home Loans. And this was back, honestly, at the very beginning of 2007. I remember my first weekend in Arizona, the Bears were playing the Colts in the Super Bowl. And obviously, I'm a very big Bears fan. But I was given an opportunity. Countrywide at the time, they were the largest mortgage servicer in the country. So I felt very blessed to get that opportunity. And then a lot of turmoil happened during the financial collapse, and I ended up working at Bank of America 18 months later, but that ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me. And, I'm just one of those guys where I stay put. Almost every single person I remember that was in my office, and funny enough, it was this office.
Oh, really?
So when I worked at Countrywide Home Loans, when I moved out here almost 20 years ago, this building and this office was where I started my career. So
that's an insane coincidence.
People like to say a full circle moment, but it's kind of a point of pride to come back in here and have our name on the door. But yeah, I got my start about 20 years ago. I've only had 3 jobs ever since. And that's one of the parts I'm most proud of is our business is so fickle with interest rates and the market, and it just doesn't faze me. IHL is only my third job in mortgages in almost the last 20 years, but I was very fortunate to get my start almost 20 years ago at Countrywide.
Yeah, it sounds like you really know how to kind of ride the waves of the chaos of the mortgage industry. I think some people pull out too soon.
They do. From my seat, it takes a special person to kind of accept the fact that you might have to work twice as hard to make half as much. Like I've had those talks 3 serious times with my staff before. There's nothing you could do when rates go from record lows to 2% higher in a month. There's nothing you could do about it. You can't control it. So I try not to focus on things out of my control. But what I can control is making the phones ring for my team every day and providing them an opportunity to be successful. And it doesn't really matter what rates are for us to do that. I mean, that's what something I do very well. But yeah, not everyone's ready for that. People jump out, they start selling insurance, they sell solar, they try to be day traders, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great if that's their career choice. But I found that real mortgage people always come back to mortgages because it's such a special job to have, and it's such a great industry. But that's just not me. I stay the course.
Fair enough. Yeah. How did you know that mortgages was like what you were meant to do?
I didn't for a very long time, but I fell in love with it. Sales and people and numbers, those are certain things that I just love. I love talking to people. It's very easy. I've always been very good at math. So talking to people about saving money every month and lowering their interest rate, the sale itself became very easy. But people in this industry, it's like we're like our own ethnicity almost. It's just like mortgage people are mortgage people. So I love it. I love being a part of it. I love being around the camaraderie. It's got a great culture attached to it, but you're helping people.
Absolutely.
Like they're either buying homes or they're refinancing existing homes. They want to borrow money. They need lower interest rates. They need to save money every month, or they need to buy a house. They want to invest, and you're a part of that. And you could be successful while you're doing it. So, I mean, it's a win-win. You're helping people and you're providing for yourself and your family all at the same time at a high level. Those are some of the things I love about the industry the most.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, between being an LO or a loan officer and a president of this company, what's the biggest change in the industry you've seen over time?
When I first started running my own team, probably 12 years ago or so, maybe 14 years ago, actually, I've always been buying the leads and in control of the marketing, and VA specifically wasn't so popular when I first started. Like it was so easy to buy VA leads and it wasn't that well known, and most people were doing conventional deals. And over time, it's become like the most popular lead source ever. Everyone wants to buy VA leads.
Why do you think that is?
Helping veterans is great.
Yeah.
I mean, serving those that have served us, I mean, nothing's really better, but it's a loyal client. They're just great people overall. But yeah, the market's restricted so much, and the amount of people that can actually benefit from a refinance over the last 2 years compared to like the previous 5 years, it's such a smaller market. It's just very, very difficult to feed 165 LOs every single day at a high level. And I'm very fortunate that that's something that I do very well and that our company does very well. But just the competition, I feel like it's not nearly as crazy as it once was. I feel like there's some big players in the game. But other than that, even though there are a lot of smaller brokerages, I don't really feel that type of competition like I would have in years past.
Interesting. Okay. I'm really wanting to know more about how you set up the tier leading system here. I know we're unlike other mortgage companies, and no matter if you're a newer LO or if you have been successful for years, when you walk in the door, you get the same calls as everybody else. What led you to structuring that system the way it is?
I've always been of the mind that at the end of the day, if you're the number one funder and you work for me, you just beat everybody else. You didn't get better pricing. You didn't get a higher tiered lead. You didn't get better anything. You're just the best at what you do. And people can't say, well, I wish I got those type of leads because I would be able to compete with that person as well. You can't make up any excuses.
Yeah, numbers talk.
Numbers always talk. So, here it's just like, hey, whatever state you're licensed in, your phone rings to those states, and what you do with the call at that point is up to you. But if I'm licensed in California and you're licensed in California and we both get 5 calls a day and I fund $3 million and you fund $1 million, there's no excuses. I just beat you. And I've just always kind of wanted to run the model that way.
I think a lot of people appreciate that when they first come in because it's not common to find that in the industry at all.
Yeah, a lot of big players, they have tiered snake systems with their phone. And again, I get asked this all the time. I'm like, if I was me from the outside looking in, why wouldn't I want to give my best leads to my best people? What sales company doesn't operate that way? So I guess you can call me crazy a little bit, but I think all of our leads are unbelievably filtered and they're very high quality. And so I don't necessarily think there's some best lead that only my top 5 people should be getting. I just love at the end of the day, like when we hand out our awards, the top 10 LOs are the top 10 LOs for no other reason than they're just the best salesman last year.
Absolutely. There's no question.
Period.
Awesome. Well, when you were starting out IHL, what was one thing that you didn't expect or you wish you could have predicted down the road?
Well, there's a lot of things that I've learned as I've been, running the company for the last several years. And that was part of the appeal for me. I like pressure. I think it's a privilege. I like stretching my comfort zone and learning something new every day. But, you hear horror stories when you work at banks where if you don't work at a bank and you have, warehouse lines of credit, they could just stop overnight and you have nowhere to send your loans. And, it was our second month in business. And one of the warehouse lines that we used was owned by a huge title company and they got hacked.
Oh, no.
So we weren't able to really do anything with our warehouse line for weeks. And I was like, wow, I'm actually living my nightmare right now. This is actually happening, everything I've heard about. And so little things like that to be like, wow, this can actually happen. That was scary. We overcame that. Working as a delegated lender to a non-delegated lender, that's probably the biggest change for me as being delegated, everything's under one roof, underwriting, processing, closing, everything. You control everything from start to finish. Here, we're non-delegated. So when we have other companies underwriting our files, it's great, but they don't work for IHL.
Right.
So you are subject sometimes to 7, 8, 9, 10 different investors every month, their guidelines, their process, their staff, their rules, their hours of operation, and then trying to create organized hot lists using data from 7 to 10 different portals that don't merge with yours. That's been a fun cluster to deal with. And I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
So just the ease of which I had reporting at my fingertips before to where now it takes a lot more time. That's been quite fun.
It's a lot of moving pieces, it sounds like.
It's a lot, but as part of the reason that I signed up to do this, like I said, I didn't know this area of the business as well as I would have liked to. And I don't want to consider myself a savant in the mortgage space and fully not be able to speak fully on all areas of the business. And,
right.
I feel pretty confident that now I can.
Yeah. And you're not afraid of a challenge of starting something up and learning kind of the hard way.
No, this is almost it's the third time, I've done this in mortgages, is moving from Chicago to work at a brand new company in a new state where I only knew one person, to working at a brand new company and trying to build a team from scratch, to now starting a company from scratch. So I don't want to say I thrive in those situations, but you handle them well. I like them.
That's great.
I like a challenge. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know you invest around $25,000 in marketing per loan officer. Is that right?
Yes, that's accurate.
Okay. What makes you want to go that hard for somebody, no matter if they're newer or have been here for a long time?
Well, kind of to segue back on what we were talking about earlier, I want everyone to have a fair shake. If you come in here and I'm only buying you 1 or 2 calls a day, in my business model, I'm not giving you a fair opportunity to compete. There are tons of business models where they have all of their guys on dialers and they're outbounding all day and they Shark Tank it, or they only buy their top 10 LOs, the most leads, and everyone else gets, drips of it. And there's no secret why the same people are the top every single month. Sometimes they're the best and sometimes they have the best opportunity. But here I want to give everybody at least a fair shot to say, hey, show me how good you actually are. Like, I don't want you to come here for 90 days and say, hey, I was only getting 2 leads a day. Everyone else is getting 20. How am I supposed to compete here? It's the exact opposite. It's like, hey, you don't even have a pipeline when you come over here. So you're probably taking more calls than everyone else. Why did you take 200 calls this month and you have 5 apps? Like, now we have a serious problem, or it's like, wow, dude, you took 100 calls and you have 15 apps. Like, you're a killer. So I just want to make sure that I give everybody a fair shake. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm online and I'm looking at, what other people in the industry are doing. And they're like, yeah, we have unlimited live calls. We had 157 calls today. I'm like, you had 157 calls today. There's 70 LOs in your office. That's like 2 per person. I was like, we had 2,000 calls today.
I mean, we see it when we walk the floor. We see everybody constantly on the phones, constantly dialed in, staying early, coming in late, that kind of thing. So
yeah, there's really no right way or wrong way to do this. I mean, everyone's entitled to run their business the way they want, and some of them are wildly successful. This has just always worked for me. Like, I want to give you, if we're giving you a job offer to come work at this company, that means we believe in you to be successful. So we got to see it through, even if that means I spent $50,000 on somebody between tech and licensing and leads, and it didn't amount to anything. At least there's no excuses at that point.
Right. What do you think separates a good LO from a great LO?
Well, the good from the great, I say this a lot, but you kind of have it or you don't. I think that the best people here, they're just naturally gifted. Their interest rate sounds better than yours. Yeah. You and me could be selling the same rate, same cost to the same borrower. Mine's just going to sound better. I'm just going to outconvert you. And then the really, really great ones know what they signed up for. I mean, this is a business to where you get told no 90% of your day. On a good day, a 10% conversion is a pretty decent conversion in this business. You have to be mentally tough. You have to know that no is part of the equation. It's like being a Hall of Fame baseball player. You could bat 300, which means you're failing 7 out of 10 times and you're in the Hall of Fame. So at mortgages, man, if you're converting at 10 to 15 to 20%, you are probably in the Mortgage Hall of Fame at that point, which means you are getting told no 80 to 90% of your day, but you still come to work every day, positive mindset, positive attitude, ready to get going. And honestly, the great ones, whether it's their 20th call of the day or their first, that client receives the exact same level of commitment and energy as the first call. Like, it's very easy to come in hyped up at 8:30 in the morning. Like, let's go. But if you take a call and you're talking to a client who wants to refinance and it's maybe 5:15, 5:30, and you're tired and you want to get home and you don't give the client the energy and the attention that they deserve, well, you'll never be great at anything at that point. Mm-hmm. And that's just another separator, is besides the fact that the best LOs in this business usually are the most talented salespeople and the hardest working. They're just mentally tough. They do those small things really, really well. Like, they don't care if it's my 20th call. If I'm answering the phone, it is game time. I am locked in. I'm not taking calls just to take calls.
Fair enough. And it's a numbers game, like you mentioned.
It's a contact sport, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't see you and we can't meet them and they're not walking in our office. So to be able to disarm and differentiate yourself from everyone else in this business and really earn trust from a client that you've spoken to for 90 seconds, like, it is a skill.
Yeah.
Do not take that for granted. Like, you cannot just pick up the phone and talk to somebody that you'll never probably meet in your entire life. And within 5 to 10 minutes, they're giving you their date of birth, their social, their address, their income, their assets. I mean, it is personal information. And it's an art form, sales. So the really, really great ones, they understand that and they do the small things exceptionally well.
Absolutely. When you were a loan officer, you were just as successful. And
I was decent.
Oh, come on. You were great.
I was okay.
Okay. We'll settle on that.
I did okay.
Okay. Well, you always say you hate losing.
Yes.
We know you're very competitive.
Yes.
Where does that drive come from for you?
I just can remember, like, being young. Like, I just didn't want to lose at anything. I mean, like, we could be in first grade and if we're doing kickball, like, I'm the captain of one of the teams. Like, it's just happening that way. I don't know. I just feel like some people are born with that competitive nature because not everyone is. Some people are not competitive. Some people don't care about winning or losing. Some people are not confrontational. Like, they shy away from those things. They're naturally introverted and that's totally fine. But I mean, I don't want to lose at anything. Like, if you and me went to go play ping pong right now, like, I'm not going to let you win.
Hey, fair. I don't want to let you win.
If you get a point on me,
But if I won.
If you won, I mean, I'd probably lie and make up an excuse that I wasn't trying. But yeah, if you beat me at something, man, hang your head on it. I think that the best people at anything that you talk about, like the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, like these people that will forever be ingrained in people's minds and examples that you use about, I mean, they were obsessed to a point to where it's the reason that they were the best ever in the world at something. I mean, you have to be crazy obsessed.
You do. To
get to that type of level. And I've never said I am. Like, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 1. And that's not my style, but I hate losing.
Yeah.
So I try not to.
And a healthy dose of obsession beats
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm available around the clock for sure. And anyone that knows me knows that that's true. Like anywhere in the world I could be, like, I'm available and I'm responding to emails or calls. It's just how I'm wired. Because I love this business. I love the hustle. I love the game. I love the grind of it.
When you're not hustling, how do you unplug? If you ever do.
I could be a couch potato for sure. I love being able to just like chill, love sports. So especially right now, like college football on Saturdays, NFL on Sundays. Love doing stuff with my kids. I try to be very active with them. Take them to the park, play outside, take them to Target, just whatever we could do to keep them busy and make the days go by easier.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, some people want to travel the world and want to go hiking and running up mountains, and that is not me. Like if I go on vacation, like I'm on the beach and I'm not moving for like a week, like that's my version of unplugging. There's only a few more weeks in the NFL and then it's baseball and basketball, unfortunately, but I'm a big Cubs fan, so
Absolutely.
you just want to be like bored, watch a baseball game. Like
we put one up in the background while we were working. I didn't understand a single thing, but I think working here, I'm kind of getting the swing of things with that.
Yeah, I mean the playoffs are always fun. They are, but like day-to-day baseball games, it's a long 3 hours sometimes. But
yeah,
I try to unplug when I can, but I don't always get the opportunity. My phone usually doesn't stop ringing, but it's what I signed up for.
Fair enough. Well, when you're in your busy season, what does a day in the life look like for you?
In the busy season.
Yeah, which sounds like it's constant.
The last week of the year, usually I'll take my kids somewhere fun like we just did. And that's kind of somewhat quiet because a lot of other people are off. But I mean, it's waking up, making my kids breakfast, taking them to school, working out, getting to the office. And honestly, right now, I don't always have an idea of what my day is going to be. I mean, it's solving problems all day, interacting with the department leaders, interacting with the floor, talking with our partners, talking with our vendors, talking with our lead vendors, game planning, looking at results, leaving. Like tonight, I'll have soccer practice for my son, and then there's a game at 9 a.m. My daughter always has play dates. It's just a busy week.
Yeah, well, it sounds like, it's good that you've got like a flow here and everybody here is so energizing. So when you walk in here, no matter how the day is going, people are smiling. So.
Yeah, it's I don't drink coffee or anything, but like it's like a shot of espresso walking in there sometimes for sure.
Yeah, venti green tea maybe.
I do like a Trenta unsweetened green tea. That's my drink.
Awesome. Outside of money, how do you measure your success?
It's a good question. Recently, over the last few weeks, I've actually had this talk with some of our leaders here and some of the new hires that we've brought in. I think being secure financially, you can, claim as one part of being successful. I really can. I personally try to be as hands-on of a father as I can. I'm very active with my kids. I try to take them places, have fun, do their homework with them when I get home, read with them when they go to bed, watch shows with my daughter, watch her make TikToks. So I feel that, like, for me personally, I've always had 3 Fs. I've always had family, fitness, and finance. So I've never maxed out on all 3. I'm definitely not going to lie. But even in the years when I've been like in the best shape ever, usually that means like the market is terrible and work is just slow. So like all I want to do is pour all my energy into the gym. But yeah, I mean, I think that you really have to hit it on all fronts. I think that you could be making all the money in the world, but if you're not happy in your personal life and you're avoiding things at home, or, you're an absentee parent, or you're just being a bad friend or a bad partner, or any of those things, I don't really know how much satisfaction you can really have.
Right.
I mean, it's easy to say, yes, you can make a ton of money and do all of these things. And some of that's true. Like it's when you're successful and you've earned it and you've made it all on your own, like, yeah, you have every right to spoil yourself and spoil everyone around you. But for me personally, like, successful is, how am I creating success around me? Like, how are my people doing? Is everyone around me in my circle at work say, are they doing great? Are they crushing it? Or are they just watching me crush it? And they're always dominating alongside with me. And I can't tell you how many countless emails or texts I get from people just saying, this is the best year of my life. I've never made this much money before. I just bought this new car. I just paid off my parents' house. I'm going to be moving into a new house. I'm going to take this vacation for the first time. I just bought this new bag. What do you think? So as a business owner, I think outside of personal income, it's kind of last on the list, but creating an opportunity for so many other people to flourish and have their lives change because of a business that you may have started, that's a big part of how I measure my success.
Yeah. For those people that are starting out, like a newer LO, where they came here for that opportunity to change their lives financially, but they're not, quite where they need to be. if you could tell them like, what would Eric Katz do? What would you say?
I'd work harder. I would hold myself very accountable, and I'd remove any and all excuses that I could promise you that person's giving themselves. They are blaming a lead, a phone system, their manager, a processor, a client, interest rates, the market. They are not going home and saying, man, I just am not working hard enough. I am not following the game plan to be successful here. I need to get back on my grind. I got to come in early. I got to stay late. I got to listen to my calls. I got to fix my pitch. I got to do all the little things to be successful. And I'm not going to have an immediate result. You can't just go to the gym and do one set of curls and have biceps.
Shocker.
Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, it is an evolution over months and years of discipline. And that is how certain people look the way they do. It is a lifestyle choice. And the most successful people here, they don't come in at 9:30 and leave at 3 and make, and fund $5 or $6 million a month. It doesn't happen. I wish it did, but that's not the way it works. They come into work with purpose and they get to it every day and they hold themselves accountable. So I would tell that person, hey, I don't even need to know what's going on. You're not working hard enough. You're probably not doing the basics, and you're probably blaming everybody else for why you're not performing. Look yourself in the mirror and get back at it.
Yeah. And is that always easy to do, to be honest with yourself like that?
I don't think it's easy to do for most people to hold themselves accountable, because it's funny, especially in this business, if you book a deal, you don't see people like running around and doing cartwheels, be like, oh my God, I just had this great call, man. I just booked this deal. I saved this client so much money. That's not what happens. What happens is you get a bad call and you're on the phone for 30 seconds and somebody hangs up the phone on you. That you want to go run around and spread like a disease. And I wish I knew why salespeople did this, but they're so much quicker to like complain than they are to kind of rejoice. And that's why I love doing the big parties and the elaborate events, because it's like, guys, like, we got to celebrate the wins here.
We do.
If you don't give yourself 5 to 10 minutes even to be like, yeah, man, like I just booked that deal. That's right. I'm a lay in that for a minute. Like I just did my job. The job just gets monotonous and it gets boring, but I don't think it's easy for everyone to hold themselves accountable every day. I think quite often there's a lot of things about ourselves we want to change and we don't. If it was that easy, we'd all be the best versions of ourselves 24/7. But it's easy for me to let people know what my opinion is, because I've been doing this a while and I've been fortunate enough to manage the best players in this game over the last 15 years. And usually if you're not hitting your potential, the only person you have to blame is yourself.
That's true. Well, that's why we go so hard every day. And then when we have the holiday party and the semi-annual,
oh yeah,
you can just decompress for a little bit.
Let off some steam.
Yes. What are you looking forward to most going into 2026 to kind of like in that same realm of things, like event-wise?
Business-wise, I'm extremely excited to see our new Ignite program take off. Our first graduating class is already on the floor, booking deals, adding to the office, the dynamic, the culture, and they're so green and hungry and humble and ready to go. I love it. Most people, they just want, like, just give me a chance to show you that I got it. And unfortunately, it's not that easy. Not every company just says, you know what? I believe in you. Let's do it. And we try to do that here to the best of our ability. We really do. We try to make decisions in people and not resumes. So I'm very excited to see that program kind of really run for a while. Events wise, I love our awards ceremony. So I love congratulating all the individual performers from 2025, but also making sure that everyone here is on my sheet of music for 2026. Like, I want everyone to know what our goals are, what we're doing, how we're growing, what our plan is. And so everyone still feels a part of what we're doing here at IHL, whether they're across the country or not. We're still one team, and I want to make sure everyone's reminded of that. Our Champions Club trip is always fun. That's in a few months, so I obviously can't wait for that. And then all the little things. I mean, we have Waste Management coming up soon. The Sun season tickets have been a big hit to all of our top performers. I have a lot of top performers. I let them pick games. So they're all signing up for all the games I want to go to over the next month or two.
You're a great motivator.
Yeah, I mean, courtside watching the Suns play. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go to that game? And I love our semi-annual. It's my favorite, because there's really nothing after the awards ceremony for the company until July, where the entire company get together. That's why that party's so fun.
Absolutely. I mean, being there, that was my first real party to that scale, and everybody was just having so much fun. But
yeah, those are fun parties, but the themes that you guys created. I mean, we had a sloth at our party this year and, mainstream DJs. I mean, it's just fun because, again, this job is very mentally taxing and the expectations to work here are high every day. They don't just lessen because it's a Friday at 4 p.m. It's like, yo, man, like, when you're done working, then go home and decompress. But when you're logged in and you're checked in, it's like, I expect everyone's best all the time.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of those goals for 2026, what are you hoping to see?
We have some big goals this year. We have the obvious goals, which are units and volume. I've set a goal for the company to fund 3.25 billion this year. We're going to hit that goal. I just know we are. I'd like to push around 10,000 units funded, which is another massive goal for our company. But I have the utmost confidence we're going to do that. And I would like to start next year, January 1st, with 300 LOs. We don't even need to double our staff at this point to do that because we're pushing about 165 right now. But outside of that, I mean, we're just going to continue to grow and do things the right way. We have a wonderful partnership with one of the biggest home builders in the country, and we fully expect that to continue to grow and scale this year as well. We're developing new people using our Ignite program, but the bigger we get, the more opportunity we just create for people internally and externally.
Yeah.
Future promotions for people in here because our staff's just getting bigger and there's going to be more departments. So overall, it's just going to be a very fun and exciting year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we're going to hit every single one of those goals, if not more, because that's just the culture we've made here of not settling, going hard even when it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any other encouraging words you want to give to the team maybe to help us push for those goals?
I mean, honestly, what we're doing is exceptional. And they've heard me say it a lot, but I want 2026 to be the year where myself and everyone here, we just hold ourselves accountable. Let's see what it looks like when, we don't blame anyone else for our shortcomings or for not hitting goals. And we kind of remove quitting from the equation as even an option. And everything that we start as a company this year, we're going to see through and we're going to finish it. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see what happens when 350 people all commit to starting something and finishing it no matter what, because quitting isn't an option. And I'm very excited to see what this company looks like in a year from now with that same mindset.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have you back on here to see.
I hope so.
To do a recap.
Maybe one more time next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
Well, thank you so much for coming back.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us today?
Winners win, man.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Happy hunting to you, Zay.
Thank you.